Hello! Thank you for your interest in HPD's Housing Choice Voucher Program, also known as Section 8. This video series will show you how to complete HPD's owner package. Submitting the owner package is the first step for owners enrolling in the program when they have tenants that are Housing Choice Voucher Program participants ready to move into their units. It collects information about the owners and their units that are available for rent to confirm they qualify for HPD's Housing Choice Voucher Program. This video will walk you through the owner package's supporting documents checklist to clarify which supporting documents you must submit to HPD with your completed owner package. HPD will use the supporting documents you submit for one of three purposes: to verify ownership of the unit, to verify other government programs associated with the unit, and to confirm terms of the lease agreement. The supporting documents checklist is broken down into these three categories. It's structured in two columns. On the left are conditions that may apply to your situation, and on the right are the supporting documents required if those conditions apply to you. If the scenario explained on the left applies to you or the unit for rent, you will have to submit the corresponding supporting document listed on the right. On page 1 of the checklist are supporting documents to verify your ownership of the unit. All owners must submit a property deed or title for the proposed unit and property. Deeds can be found online at ACRIS, New York City's Automated City Register Information System, a link to which is provided on the form. If multiple individuals are listed on the deed or have title to the property, a notarized document clarifying who will assume owner responsibilities for the HCV program must be submitted. HPD requires one individual to be responsible for any HPD correspondence associated with the HCV program. The party who is transferring rights to collect rent to someone else should state who they are authorizing to enter into the HAP contract on their behalf, and for which property, specifying the address of the apartment. This document should be signed by the authorizing party and notarized. If a business entity other than that listed as the property owner on the deed or title will receive payments from the HCV program, an executed nominee agreement must be submitted with the owner package to clarify this agreement. If the occupancy status of the unit has recently changed due to construction, then owners must submit the certificate of occupancy. For newly constructed buildings, owners can submit a temporary certificate of occupancy. Certificates of occupancy can be found online at the NYC Department of Buildings website by a building information search. A link to the search tool is provided in the packet. Lastly, if the owner's name and tax ID provided on the City of New York Substitute W-9 form, which comes later in the packet, can't be verified with the IRS, then IRS-issued documentation to confirm the tax ID or Social Security number will be required. If you anticipate any issues verifying the name and tax ID, please provide these documents with your initial submission of the owner package. Page 2 of the checklist outlines the documents HPD will use to verify other government programs the unit is associated with. For rent-stabilized or rent-controlled units, the most recent annual rent registration document from the Division of Housing and Community Renewal must be submitted along with the owner package. Visit DHCR's site for more instructions on obtaining that documentation following the link provided on the form. For these units, if a major capital improvement order has been issued since the most recent rent registration for the property, it too must be submitted. For units participating in other government programs or subsidies, a certified rent roll for the building must be provided. For these units, if any of the following are applicable, they too must be submitted: a regulatory agreement, rent order or approval documentation from the supervising government agency, affordable housing marketing plan or marketing advertisement if one was produced during the initial lease-up of the development. Owners of units that aren't regulated by any other government programs may submit a certified rent roll and leases of comparable units. If submitted, these can help justify the rent you're proposing for the unit to be rented by an HCV program participant. Page 3 of the checklist covers documents HPD uses to verify the terms of lease, some version of the lease itself. If the Section 8 participant is a new tenant of the unit, meaning once this owner package is processed they will move into the unit, then a proposed lease and any riders must be submitted before it's signed and executed. HPD will review the lease and rent proposed before the lease's execution. If the Section 8 participant is already living in the unit, then the current lease and any riders should be submitted. If the unit is in a co-op and the Section 8 participant is a shareholder in the co-op, then a co-op shareholder agreement, also referred to as a proprietary lease, should be submitted. Submit your required supporting documents along with your completed owner package to the Owner Services team within HPD's Division of Tenant and Owner Resources in one of 4 ways: by uploading to the DTR portal, by emailing to s8landlords@hpd.nyc.gov, by fax to 212-863-8526, or by mailing to HPD's Owner Services team at 100 Gold Street, New York, New York, 10038. If you still have questions about which supporting documents you're required to submit, send your questions to the Owner Services team at s8landlords@hpd.nyc.gov. Check out the other videos in this series for more detailed instructions on how to complete other pages of the owner package. Thanks again for your interest in participating in HPD's Housing Choice Voucher Program.